Hey, what's up, guys? This is Corey,
And I'm Duke.
and you're listening to the Drive-In Review.
Yup.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Ugh.
Sleep well, folks. All right, what are we doing today?
We are doing part 2 of our horror episode.
Yeah, we're going to continue on.
We got, slashers and ghosts.
Yep, paranormal and slashers. And I think I'm going to start today.
Yep.
The first one I want to start with is a slasher
Okay.
from 1980. It is called Don't Go in the House.
Why not?
Because he's gonna hurt you. It's gonna hurt you.
In this house, 25 years ago, a child was given life.
Donald, come here.
He was raised in isolation,
You're a bad boy.
instructed in fear,
You're evil and you must be punished.
imprisoned by a tormented mind,
Your father let you do things like that, but he's gone now.
and baptized in flames. Now, he has come of age. His suffering has ended, and ours is about to begin.
You hear that, old lady? I'll punish you again!
If you would be spared from the fury of his vengeance, whatever you do, don't go in the house.
Suzanne!
Corridor by corridor, he lures you inward, towards insanity. Stairway by stairway, he draws you closer to madness.
Oh, God!
And soon, he'll share the terrifying secret behind this door, in the room of steel.
Help me! Oh!
Don't go in the house if you value your sanity. Don't go in the house if you believe in evil.
Don't make me do anything bad, Mother.
Don't go in the house because the people who live there aren't people anymore. Don't go in the house. But if you do, don't say we didn't warn you.
And where are we not supposed to go?
House.
Oh,
In the
yeah.
house.
In the house.
Don't go in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Don't.
So Don't Go in the House is very much a low-key ripoff of Psycho. It was originally released in 1979, but did not get a U.S. release until March 28th, 1980.
Okay.
Originally, it was called The Burning, and if you watch the movie, you'll see in the opening credits it's called The Burning.
Right.
And then there was another movie that came out the following year, 1981, called The Burning. But it is not Don't Go in the House. It's actually a movie starring, what's his name? George
Burns?
Yeah, George Burns. Yeah, the classic George Burns slasher from the 80s.
Hello, McFly.
Yeah. But yeah, it was also called The Burning Man originally, but if you all watch, like I said, watch the opening credits, it's called The Burning.
So Don't Go in the House is actually called The Burning, but they named it Don't Go in the House. But if you watch it, it's titled The Burning.
Yeah, it's even titled in the credits, The Burning.
Wow.
But the movie The Burning came out a year later with Tom Savini actually doing the special effects in the actual The Burning.
Right. Somebody messed up in the credits
Yeah.
or in the editing.
yeah, I guess they pushed it out too fast. I don't know. I don't know.
Don't go in the house.
Yeah, don't. So it's about this guy that's kind of very much a psycho, not kind of. He has mommy problems, and he keeps his mom locked away in his house, very much like Psycho.
Right.
And he lures women inside and locks them in this metal room where he basically puts a flame flower on them. A flame flower. Yeah. So this movie was produced by Turbine Films. It was directed by Joseph Ellison. It was written by Joe Maysfield, Joseph Ellison as well, and Ellen Hamill. It stars Dan Grimaldi as the main crazy man.
Right.
Charles Bonnet and Robert Carnegie. Or Carnegie.
Carnegie, yeah.
It was made on a budget of $250,000, and I could not find a gross on this movie. You think it flopped? I don't know.
Probably. They rushed it too much that they couldn't even get the titles right.
I don't know. A lot of people don't talk about this movie, so I don't know how well known it is.
I think I seen it long time ago on Elvira show or something.
Okay. Yeah. It's kind of a disturbing film.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you like your horror a little unsettling, yeah, this one's for you.
Well, he was basically isolated. I mean, he kept his mom locked up. His mom was abusive.
Yeah.
And stuff to him. So it traveled on to him whenever he got older.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep.
Very, very psychedelic, or not psychedelic, psychological film. There you go.
Psychedelic mind.
Yeah.
Whoa. IMDb gave this a 5.6 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 3.1 out of 5. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 43% with a 34% audience rating. What do you think my rating is?
I'm going to go 7 out of 10.
I gave it an 8 out of 10.
8? Okay.
Yeah.
I went 7. It did give me a psycho type of vibe when I watched it.
Very much. It's a strange film. I like movies that are a little off the wall, a lot more different than the typical horror film.
Right.
I mean, it is a lot like Psycho, but it has its own personality to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did like the movie. The movie was filmed in Atlantic Highlands and New Rochelle, New Jersey. And the house that they used in the film is now called the Strauss Mansion Museum, and it is located in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, so
nice.
they've turned that into a museum, and I believe every October they do play this film in honor of
nice.
the house and the movie and the location.
So you can go in the house
history.
to watch Don't Go in the House.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm just
Don't go in the house to watch. Don't go in the house. Grimaldi, the lead guy, he kept the asbestos suit that he wore in the film. So basically, there's a scene where he lures this woman in and locks her into the metal room.
Mm-hmm.
And he wears this asbestos suit to basically put the flamethrower on her, the flame flower on her. So yeah, and he kept it.
Awesome. He kind of reminds me of the bad guy in Weekend at Bernie's, the one that kills Bernie.
Oh, okay.
He kind of reminds me of that. They look alike.
Don Calfa.
Yeah.
From Return of the Living Dead.
Okay. Yeah.
Played Ernie.
Right.
Let's see what else I got. The soundtrack had to be re-recorded when it was realized that the original score was recorded on low-quality equipment. So when they realized that this soundtrack sounded like shit, they had to re-record it and redub it.
All right.
For the film. This is the... I said this was? This was the final proto slasher to be released. The
Proto slasher.
proto slasher before Friday the 13th was released.
Okay.
That year.
Okay.
So anything leading up to Friday the 13th, I assume people call a proto slasher. I know that stuff like Bay of Blood, which was an Italian slasher from the early 70s,
Right.
and Black Christmas from 74. Anything leading up to, I guess, Halloween, because I assume Halloween is considered the first slasher,
Yeah.
because Friday the 13th was basically pulling from Halloween
Right.
when they made the film. But anything leading up to that, I assume would be considered a proto slasher. Anything,
Okay.
yeah. Your base slasher elements.
Right.
Anyway,
Until Halloween came out, and they're like, all right,
yeah,
this is the
everything.
pinnacle of slasher
Yeah,
right here.
full on in. So this movie was shot in a month and a half, and it did not, and this is not related to being shot in a month and a half, but it did not make the UK Video Nasties list.
Okay.
You're aware of the Video Nasties in the UK?
No.
Okay, so in the early 80s, the British government grabbed a bunch of these horror movies and considered them ineligible
Okay.
to be viewed by the public because
Gotcha.
they were too gory, too sexual, too outrageous. So they put this stamp on them that said, "They're video nasties." Some of these movies were edited enough that they could pass
Okay.
through to be viewed. Like this one was actually edited down so that it could be viewed.
Gotcha.
But a lot of them, like Cannibal Holocaust, stuff like that, could not pass.
Damn video Nazis. Or nasties.
Yeah,
Nasties. Not
video
Nazis.
Nazis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not verbalize that well, but that's what happened.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's all I got.
All right. Well, my first movie is a slasher. And nowadays, you would say it's a classic because we're getting old.
Mm-hmm.
But my movie is Scream.
Ooh.
Hello?
Hello.
Who is this?
You tell me your name, I'll tell you mine.
I don't think so.
What's that noise?
Popcorn.
You making popcorn?
Well, I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Oh, just some scary movie.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
You never told me your name.
Why do you want to know my name?
I want to know who I'm looking at.
Someone is playing a deadly game.
It all began with a scream over 911.
Someone who's seen one too many scary movies. Now he's taken his love of fear
Hello?
Hello, Sydney.
one step too far.
Do you like scary movies?
What's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a scary movie. Number one, you can never have sex.
Me.
Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be back. Get another beer, you want one? Yeah, sure. I'll be right back!
He didn't make the rules.
The police are always off track. If they watch prom night, they save time.
He just kills by them. Don't answer the phone. Don't open the door. Don't try to hide.
Everybody's a suspect!
You're not scared, are you?
Scream.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, definitely. So this movie is about a murder on the loose that about a year after the murder of her mother, a teenage girl is terrorized by a mass killer that they deemed Ghostface, and targets her and her friends using scary movies as part of the deadly game. It stars Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, David Arquette, Skeet Ulrich, Jamie Kennedy, and one and only Matthew Lillard.
Yeah,
Lillard.
Lillard. And Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, she's in it too.
Yeah. She is.
The movie was released December 20th, 1996.
I was there.
It was directed by Wes Craven.
Yes, it was.
And distributed and produced by Dimension Films.
Mm-hmm.
Had a budget of $14 million. You think it flopped?
No, it did not flop.
It made a whopping $173 million.
Yeah.
And see here, IMDb gave it 7.4 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 81% with an 80% audience rating.
Mm-hmm.
And Letterboxd gave it 4 out of 5.
Okay.
What do you think my rating was?
9 out of 10?
No, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10? Okay.
Yeah. Yep, I remember this movie well because I went to theaters and saw it. And then when it came out on Cinemax, it came on, and I asked my mom if she wanted to watch it. And she said, sure. You know, she's like, is it very scary? I'm like, nah, it's not really that scary. And so I watched about 5 minutes into it, and then a buddy of mine called me and said, hey, you want to go play some pool and hang out? I'm like, yeah, sure. So then I left her by herself to watch this movie. I got back home, and she was white as a ghost. She's like, don't you ever do that to me again. And I said, well, did you at least like it? She's like, yeah, it was a good movie. Just scared the shit out of me. So wow. I was like, well, at least you liked it. So
yeah, I give this a 10 out of 10 as well. It's a classic. I think it would even be more of a classic if they would have left it alone and not did a bunch of sequels.
Right.
I think people would appreciate the movie a lot more, especially since it is the movie that reinvigorated the horror genre, because up to that point, the horror had really fallen flat.
Yeah.
Anything from the late 80s to the early 90s, mid 90s, it just was not, it didn't have the same substance to it.
Right. And the fact that they use horror movies as references to survive.
Yeah. This is a very meta film by Wes Craven. And this was not the first time that Wes Craven did a meta horror film. He did one 2 years prior with New Nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, but this was the movie that spawned a whole bunch of sequels as well as knockoff movies like I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, Scary Movie.
And you got Scary Movie doing parodies of it and stuff. So, yeah, I watched this the first weekend it came out, December 20th, 1996. I was 16 years old. And I went back the following weekend with some friends to watch it as well. It was that good. I was blown away when I saw it. I'm like, holy shit, man, this is the best horror movie I've seen in years.
Right. And I haven't seen the reboot sequels of it, or 5 and 6. Uh-huh. I haven't seen those yet. I've heard they're really good, and they surpass, they equal to the first movie,
or at least the second.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree with you that they drug this on way too much.
Yeah,
and it was just twist after twist after twist on everything, and it's like, okay, who's the killer now? Because it's going to be somebody we know.
Yeah,
or they're related. Mm-hmm. One, but yeah, I agree. I think they should have stopped with the first one and just left it a classic, left people hanging.
Yeah, I agree, because none of them have lived up to the original.
No,
none of them have.
None. So my fun facts on this.
Okay.
During the party scene, when they're all together and they're talking about the rules of the horror films and stuff like that.
Kennedy's talking about
right,
the rules,
right.
Yeah.
That was filmed in the end of the film. It runs 42 minutes long. That's how long the party lasts. But it was shot over 21 days.
Oh wow!
From sunset to the sunrise.
Mm-hmm. And
they after it wrapped, the crew had T-shirts made saying that I survived scene 118. So
okay,
which was the scene of the shooting during the shooting and everything. And so they just jokingly called it the longest night in horror history.
Wow.
So
okay,
Matthew Lillard was cast as Stu Maker. and by chance, is it Macher or Mocker? Is it Mocker?
I don't
Stu
remember.
Mocker.
Is
I
it
bet.
Stu Mocker?
I think so. Stu Mocker. Sorry. By chance, after accompanying his then girlfriend to an unrelated audition taking place elsewhere in the same building, casting director Lisa Beach saw Lillard in the hallway and asked him to audition for the part. He got into the role with incredible ferocity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ferocity, yeah.
At around 12 minutes into the movie, at the beginning of the movie, when Casey, that's Drew Barrymore's character,
Yeah.
her parents come home to find something is wrong. Her parents tell her mother to go to the Mackenzies, and which is the same thing Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis,
Halloween.
told Lindsay and Tommy to do in Halloween.
Go to the Mackenzies.
Yep.
So if you're ever in trouble, folks,
right, go to the Mackenzies.
go to the Mackenzies.
And then my last one I have is the use of caller ID increased more than threefold after the release of this film.
Really?
Yeah, because everybody wanted to know who was calling because they were afraid of these calls coming through.
Okay.
So
There were actually people that still didn't have caller ID back then, huh?
yeah, yeah, I'm sure there were. It wasn't very popular.
I think we
It
had,
was, but not.
I think we had caller ID in '92 was when we first got caller ID.
We had Bell South caller ID. I still have the box upstairs in the attic.
The actual
actually.
box that shows
The
the
white
number.
box, yeah. Yep, I have it still in the attic. I wonder if it still works.
Huh.
I don't have a landline, but
Right.
that'd be interesting if it still worked. Yeah. So that's all I got on Scream.
Okay.
What's your next one? What you got?
The next film I have is not a slasher. It is a paranormal film from the 1980s entitled The Entity.
Ooh, all right.
Hey, wake up! Wake up, everybody! It's a gorgeous day! Gorgeous day! Come here.
20th Century Fox presents the story of Carla Moran,
Okay, now look.
the most extraordinary case in the history of psychic research.
Everything broke loose and went crazy, and everything was shaking. The bed was shaking, and the walls were shaking, and...
Like an earthquake.
No, it wasn't like an earthquake. It was much stronger than any earthquake.
Oh, wait a minute. Honey, I don't really understand this. You were attacked? Or you weren't? It happened. I was raped.
You were raped by whom?
I don't know. There was no one there.
A team of experts will investigate her life.
Why does he attack you, Carla? Not anyone else. Why is she going to such lengths to support this delusion?
And they will find more than evidence. They will find the entity.
Yeah, this is a messed up film, if you haven't seen it.
I've seen it a little while back.
Pretty disturbing.
Yeah.
Probably the most disturbing paranormal film that I've seen. And movies don't really disturb me a whole lot. There's a handful of movies that do. This was one of them.
Yeah.
The Entity was released February 4th, 1983. And it was produced by 20th Century Fox and American Cinema Productions. It was directed by Sidney J. Fury, who also did Ladybugs, Iron Eagle, and Superman 4, Quest for Peace.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. It was written by Frank De Filletta, and it stars Barbara Hershey and Ron Silver, which I believe was the cocky, cokey-nosed guy from Die Hard who tried to talk. Yeah.
Right.
It was made on a budget of $9 million. Do you think it flopped?
I'm going to say no.
No, it made $13.2 million.
Okay.
Yeah. IMDb gave this a rating of 6.7 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 3.4 out of 5. And Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 62% with a 61% audience rating. What do you think my rating is?
8 out of 10.
That's right. 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
And I've only seen it once.
Yeah, I've only seen it once too. I'll give it 8.
Cool.
Yeah, it was very disturbing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just too out there. Like it really was.
Yeah, and it's based on true events, apparently.
Right, which makes it even more enticing.
Yeah. But a lot of movies say that it's based on true events, but who knows what really happened?
Right, or how much they've. What's the word? Faked. Yeah. Like, faked it or, stuff like that,
Yeah.
altered.
Yeah.
Altered. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
Altered the story a little bit.
Right.
So.
Yeah, very much like The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Kind of, based on true events, quote unquote.
Right.
Because, I'll get to that later. This was filmed in El Segundo and Culver City, California. Like I said, this was based on true events from 1974 from a lady named Doris Bither. Hershey's role, Barbara Hershey, Barbara Hershey's role was also considered for. You okay?
I'm chuckling because of Barbara. I was thinking. No, I was thinking of we just reviewed it last week, last episode. They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Okay, Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, Night of the Living Dead. Okay.
Berber. Barbara Hershey's role was also considered for Jane Fonda.
Okay.
Bette Midler.
No.
And Sally Field.
I could see Sally.
I could too.
Not Bette, though.
No. Excerpts from the original score can be heard in Nightmare on Elm Street.
Okay.
I said Night of the Living Dead.
See, it's that Barbara. It just sticks to you. All right.
Barbara sticks to you. Finally, there was an Atari 2600 video game adaptation to this film, but it was never officially released.
Oh.
You can actually find it online.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So, that's all I got.
All right.
And I would like to play that game because I bet it'd be hooked up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up and see if I can find the ROM for that.
Yeah.
So, because I have a 2600 emulator.
Do you?
So, yeah, so we'll have to look that up.
Yeah, check out the Entity.
Yeah, let's go now. No, let's finish this. All right. Well, my next film is what the heck just happened there? Having technical difficulties. Okay. My next film is going to be House on Haunted Hill.
The original?
No.
The remake.
The 1999 one.
Okay.
Yeah, I almost did the Vincent Price one.
That's all right.
But
I saw this in theaters. Let's do it.
This Halloween, 6 strangers have been invited to a party. If they can stay up till dawn, they'll win $1 million each.
1 million.
The only catch is that they'll have to live through the night.
Let the games begin.
It's in there. Hey, I think I got something. Steve,
Ethan, are you doing this?
No. Is it over?
Is it over yet?
I think so. Oh, no, there you go.
House on Haunted Hill.
All right. So there you have it. This movie stars Jeffrey Rush, Famke Janssen. She was the one off of Taken, the mom.
Okay.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Taye Diggs, Ali Larder, Bridget Wilson, Chris
Catan.
Chris Kattan, yeah, that's right. I always mispronounce his name. Jeffrey Combs, and Peter Gallagher.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Jeffrey Combs was in this.
Yeah.
And Bridget Wilson.
The movie was released October 27th, 1999. It was directed by William Malone and distributed and produced by Warner Brothers.
Okay.
It had a budget of $19 million. And do you think it flopped?
No.
No, it did not. It grossed 43.
Okay.
So, has an IMDb rating of 5.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 31% with a 42% audience rating. And Letterboxd gave it 2.7 out of 5. What do you think my rating is on this one?
8 out of 10?
No, I only gave it 6.
Okay.
Yeah, 6 out of 10. It was entertaining, but I actually do like the original better, just because I like Vincent Price. But I almost did that one, but I wanted to keep it a little bit modern.
I think I'd give this a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
I saw it when it first came out, and I really enjoyed it, but there was one thing missing that I really wanted to see, which was zombies.
Right.
And it turns out that once I bought the DVD, there is a cut scene that can be found where zombies are coming out of the
that would have been
underneath
awesome.
the floorboards.
Right.
Yeah. I was like, why did they cut that out? That would have made the perfect fucking movie.
Right. But would that have made a paranormal movie or a zombie movie then? Because once you see zombies, it's automatically a zombie movie.
I don't know. Maybe that's what their thought process was.
Probably.
I don't know.
But fun facts I have on this one is Jeffrey Rush, which we know as Barbossa, Captain Barbossa from
Pirates of the
Caribbean, and other films that he's been in, including this one.
Yeah, that's 2.
Yeah.
Or 6.
Right.
7, whatever.
He's been in a few. He was never meant to look like Vincent Price from the original 1959 House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah.
The original screenplay described Stephen Price as a regular-looking businessman. Rush didn't care for this. So he suggested that his character look like the film director John Waters. The director agreed to test this look out. After his transformation, he ended up looking so much like Vincent Price, the director decided to keep the look.
And even named him Price.
Yeah. Yeah. The director, William Malone, got the idea to set the movie in a former insane asylum when he was filming an episode of Tales from the Crypt in 1989. In a former asylum, and noticed that crew members were running scared out of the basement, not wanting to film there. The roller coaster in the beginning of the movie was actually the Incredible Hulk at Universal Island of Adventure in Orlando.
Okay.
So that's all I got.
Okay.
Yeah. Short and sweet.
Yeah, it's an alright movie.
Yeah.
I don't dislike it.
I didn't. I almost like the sequel better.
I've never seen it.
The Return to Haunted Hill. Yeah.
I've not seen it.
Yeah, that one. I almost like it a little bit better. So.
Okay.
What you got?
Well,
folks. Well, kids.
Next movie I have is a slasher. It is called Intruder.
Ooh, look out.
Look out. Look out, man.
Good evening, Walnut Lake shoppers.
It's closing time,
The store will be closing in 15 minutes.
but the night crew still has work to do.
Get your shit and get out.
Because there's one last customer who isn't satisfied.
No! This creep keeps calling her. He's driving us nuts. Leave me alone.
Donald Trump.
He wants to slash their prices.
Who's there?
He wants to cut their inventory.
You're crazy!
In fact, he wants to chop until they all drop.
I saw him kill Linda.
And now he's turning their retail store
There's gonna be one more killing here tonight.
into a wholesale slaughterhouse.
I'm just crazy about this store.
Intruder.
Yeah. Have you seen Intruder?
I have. I have.
It's kind of another low-key slasher, low-budget, movie from the 80s.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people have heard about it. It was released January 13th, 1989. It takes place in a grocery store after hours. It was actually filmed in a grocery store after hours. Derpy Der. Produced by Phantom Productions and Beyond Infinity, and distributed by Empire Pictures. It was directed by Scott Spiegel, and who also did From Dusk Till Dawn 2.
Okay.
And Hostel 3, which I have not seen. I haven't seen either one of those movies.
No, I haven't either.
It was written by Lawrence Bender and Scott Spiegel, and it stars Renee Estevez. Yes.
They have a sister?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Charlie and Emilio's sister. Also stars Liz Kern, Sam Raimi, Sam Raimi, his brother Ted Raimi, and in a very small role, Bruce Campbell, which is literally at the very end of the movie.
Right.
It was made on a budget of $130,000. Did not find a gross. And IMDb wrote it 6.1 out of 10. Go ahead and laugh it up, buddy. 6.1 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 3.2 out of 5. Rotten Tomatoes was not available for a critic score, but it was given a 52% by audiences. What do you think my rating is for this film? I've seen it once or twice.
I'm going to say 7.
7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Not a bad movie. Entertaining.
Yeah.
Memorable. Some good gore.
Right.
Some good kills. Sam Raimi is not in it for very long either. This movie was filmed in Bell, California. And it was originally titled The Night Crew, which was the name of the original short film, directed also by Scott Spiegel. There was a director that was originally set to direct. Who do you think it was?
Sam Raimi?
Tobe Hooper.
Oh, Toby. Oh, Toby Hooper.
Yeah. Tobe Hooper was originally set to direct this film, but turned it down. And the last thing I have was this was shot in 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks. That's all I got, yeah.
Cool.
And that's Intruder. Check it out.
Yeah.
I think you can find this one on Tubi.
Tubi?
Yeah.
Tubi Hooper?
Tubi. Tubi Hooper Go.
Yeah, I gave it 7 out of 10 too. It's a good film. It's watchable, and yeah, I do recommend it.
Yeah, it's fun.
So, all right, my next film I do not have a trailer for because it's so quiet that I didn't want to bore our audience at all. Yeah, like all you hear is heavy breathing, and I'm not talking about. Yeah, it's very very creepy. But the movie I'm talking about is Hush.
Sorry, my bad.
Wait. Shush. So that's our poltergeist.
What?
Yeah. So Hush is about a deaf-mute writer who retreated into the woods to live a solitary life and now must fight for her life in silence when a masked killer appears at her window.
Okay.
So the movie was very creepy, but we'll get to that later.
I have seen it once.
Right. I've seen it twice now. Once with you and then, yeah, another time. It stars Kate Siegel, John Gallagher Jr., and Michael Trucco. And it was released March 12th, 2016. It's directed by Mike Flanagan and distributed and produced by Netflix.
Really?
Yeah. It didn't go to the theater, it just went straight to Netflix. And it had a budget of $1 million, and I do not know the gross because it was Netflix.
Yeah. So,
IMDb gave it 6.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 93% with a 73% audience rating.
Huh.
And Letterboxd gave it 3.2 out of 5.
Okay.
So what do you think my rating was?
8 out of 10?
7.
7.
Yeah. It was very... It was kind of boring because it was so quiet, but it just made the the scare scenes that much more scarier because it would just be so quiet and all of a sudden, rah,
Yeah.
So
there was nothing real spectacular about the movie for me. It just kind of felt like a run-of-the-mill slasher movie, like home invasion thing. Didn't find out later until that it was written by the same guy that wrote Scream.
Right.
Yeah. So I do need to watch it again. It's been maybe 4 years since I've seen it.
Yeah, I mean,
and you didn't watch it with me. I watched it by myself before that.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. I thought I watched it with you.
Mm-mm.
Oh, all right.
El Nopos.
Must have been another Duke.
Yeah. There's a plethora of us.
The fun facts I got on this, because the main character is deaf and mute, the film contains less than 15 minutes of dialogue.
Really?
Yeah. Meaning that more than 70 minutes occur without a single word spoken.
Okay. What's with you and all these movies?
You
did A Quiet Place as well last time.
I don't know.
You're all about it.
Yeah. I like the creepiness of the quiet. Silence is deadly.
Yeah. I guess. What they say.
Director Mike Flanagan and co-writer and star Kate Siegel are a married couple and conceived the storyline for Hush while on a dinner date in 2014. They wed in February 2016. And the film was only took 18 days to film.
Oh, okay.
And that's it. That's all I got.
And Mike Flanagan directed, do you know?
I knew, but I didn't put anything down.
He did Dr. Sleep.
Yes.
He did Gerald's Game. Have you watched Gerald's Game yet?
No, I haven't.
You should check that out.
Yeah.
It's pretty messed up. He did Ouija, The Origin of Evil, the sequel, which is actually way better than the original. Yeah.
Cool.
Stuff like that.
All righty.
Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. Unless you want me to go again, but I don't want to.
Oh.
I'll wait.
All right. Next film that I have is entitled House.
House. All right.
Think you're funny, Roger? A few years ago, you had a chance to kill me.
Now I'm gonna kill your little boy unless you kill yourself.
No!
Daddy! It's finally over, Roger. You've got no chance.
I'm not afraid of you anymore, Ben. I beat you! And this goddamn house!
Don't make me mad!
What?
I'm warning you, I'll slit his throat!
You can't hurt me. Or my son. You know what you mean?
I'm warning you! No!
Oh,
No! I'll get you for this!
You don't want to see me when I'm angry.
R.I.P. Richard Mole.
Yes.
We opted for that scene instead of doing a trailer.
Yeah, because, I mean, wow. That's just,
yeah.
That was heartbreaking to hear that.
Yeah.
And I almost swapped House on the Haunted Hill for Scary Movie 2. Is it? With him in it?
Who, Richard Mole?
Yeah, he's the ghost.
Is he?
Yeah.
I haven't seen part 2 a whole lot.
Yeah, I believe so. With the tiny, the small hand,
yeah,
Chris
part
Elliott.
2,
Yeah.
House was one of the films that introduced me to horror films as a child. Used to watch it all the time.
Right.
It was released February 28th, 1986, and was produced by New World Pictures, which was founded by the king of B-movies, Mr. Roger Corman. I'm all about Richard Mole today, I guess.
Right.
No, New World Pictures was founded by Roger Corman in 1970.
Okay.
And he oversaw the making of this film. House was directed by Steve Miner. You know that name?
Sounds familiar, but can't ring a bell.
Steve Miner directed Friday the 13th Part 2 and 3.
Okay.
Warlock, Halloween H2O, Lake Placid, Forever Young, Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken, and Soul Man.
Wow. Yeah, he's done a lot.
Yeah.
I haven't heard Warlock. That was a name drop, man. I haven't seen Warlock in forever.
Yeah. R.I.P. to him as well.
Yeah.
Written by Fred Decker. Remember that name?
Mm-hmm.
He was the director of Night of the Creeps and Monster Squad.
Yeah.
And also written by Ethan Wiley, who also wrote House 2, Second Story.
I have not seen the sequels yet.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
I've only
surprised
seen
you
the
haven't
original.
seen Part 2.
Yeah. I think we were going to. We were planning on it, but we never did. And I haven't watched them. I have them, but I haven't watched them yet.
I did watch House 2 at one of my viewing parties. I'm surprised I don't think you were there.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
Okay. The special effects for this film was done by Barney Berman, who did the makeup for Les Grossman in Tropic Thunder.
Nice.
And also Brian Wade, who did the special effects in Terminator, Friday the 13th, 6, Jason Lives, and also worked with Rick Baker, who was one of the big shots in special effects in the 80s.
Nice.
This movie stars William Catt. Do we know William Catt?
William Catt?
Yeah.
As?
The Great American Hero.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
George Wendt from Cheers. Kay Lenz and Richard Mole. This was made on a budget of $3 million. Do you think it flopped?
No.
No, it made $19.4 million. IMDb rated this a 6.1 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 3 out of 5. And Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 57% with a 46% audience approval rating. What do you think? What do you think my rating is?
Well, I think you're going to match me. I'm going to say 8.
Pretty close.
Yeah?
8.5.
8.5? You gave it a half? All right.
I gave it a half.
All right. Yeah, the practical effects and this one and the puppeteering,
yeah,
and everything, it was great.
I agree. This was filmed in Los Angeles and Monrovia, California, and it was produced by Sean S. Cunningham.
Okay.
Who directed the original Friday the 13th.
Right.
So we have all these people from Friday the 13th series working on this film. Sean S. Cunningham, Steve Miner, and the soundtrack was done by Harry Manfredini.
Nice.
From Friday the 13th.
Right.
Let's see. The writer, the co-writer, Ethan Wiley, he's the one that added the humor to the script. Originally, it was a straight-on, full horror film written by Fred Decker.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Decker was horrified that Wiley added all this humor to the script. I don't think it would have been the same movie at all.
No.
It would not have the same impact.
Right. Yeah. Like I mentioned the last episode, there's got to be a balance.
Yeah.
To make it a great, good movie.
Mm-hmm.
And everything. Because, I mean, if you're walking out the theater throwing up and just sick to your stomach because it's nothing but horror throughout the whole thing, then, it's a waste of your money.
No, not for some people.
Some people, yeah.
But I do love my horror comedies, and I do know what you're saying.
Right.
Originally, this was intended to be an anthology film, but that idea fell through. And so Fred Decker decided he was going to use the story that he had written for the anthology and make it a full feature-length film.
Okay.
Something I did not know about this movie until I read it was that Kane Hodder was the stunt coordinator of this film.
Again, Friday the 13th.
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome.
And he can be seen, not him completely.
Right.
But the creature's arm that's under the plastic bag.
Okay.
Remember the creature that his wife turned into the creature?
Mm-hmm.
The witch or whatever they call it. And he starts chopping them up, takes them out to the backyard and starts digging all these holes.
Right.
Well, the creature underneath the bag, when the arm comes out and grabs his foot while he's talking to the beautiful next door neighbor, well, that is Kane Hodder.
Okay.
That's his arm.
So Kane Hodder's arm is in the movie. Nice.
The little boy that Roger babysits in the film,
mm-hmm.
which is the son of the beautiful next door neighbor.
Right.
Well, that kid is Steve Miner's son, real life.
That's cool.
And apparently he was recognized for several years afterwards as that kid in the movie.
As some stars
with the fluffy hair.
Yeah.
Let's see. There were certain female actresses or actors that were considered for the lead female role, including Glenn Close and Sigourney Weaver.
Okay.
Yeah. This movie was shot in 8 weeks, and finally, the Big Ben character, the zombie,
right
at the end of the movie, was not played by Richard Mole.
No.
It was played by a man called Kurt Wilmot.
Okay.
Kurt Wilmot.
It was voiced by Richard Mole.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Apparently, Kurt Wilmot was extremely skinny, and he kind of bruised himself up on the hard exterior of his costume because he was so bony and skinny.
Oh, wow.
So that's all I have for House, the 1986 classic.
Yes. And again, rest in peace.
Produced by Roger Corman and directed by all the...
Friday the 13th.
Produced by Roger Corman and Sean S. Cunningham.
Right. All right. Well, my next film is another classic, and I think they should have stopped with this one as well. And it's called Final Destination.
Oh, yeah.
I got this feeling. It's a weird feeling. The cabin starts to shake, right? And the left side blows up, and then the whole plane just explodes. No, it's not a joke. It's not a joke. We get thrown off the plane all because Browning has a bad dream? I saw it. The plane. It's gonna blow up. It's gonna blow up.
All 287 passengers are feared dead.
Because of you, I'm still alive.
In death, there are no accidents. No coincidences. And no escapes.
Did it happen again? Did you see Todd die?
What if it was our time? What if we were not meant to get on that plane? What if there is a sign that it's not finished?
By walking off the plane, you're cheating death. You have to figure out when it's coming back at you.
What are you, God now?
He knows which one of us is next.
You have a responsibility to tell me. I knew I should have hit on Tammy in the pool that time. I'm not gonna let it happen, okay?
Nobody has control over life and death. Unless they are taking lives and causing death.
Yeah, modern classic. Really
Now, can you
enjoyed this
promise
film.
me that no one else is going to die?
Well, it's not over.
It's not over yet.
I'll see you soon.
It's got a very Terminator
Yeah, I was
sound
going to
to
say,
it.
is this a Predator movie?
Right. Boom, 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 boom. All right, now what were you saying?
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
No, I really liked it. I liked the second one just as much as the first one.
Yeah, I think they should. I mean, the second one definitely elevated, but I think I like them all actually. But I just, I think they're just doing too many of them.
Kind of back to the whole Scream idea.
Yeah, because they're working on number 6 now, and it's like, come on, man! Like, how many? When is death going to be done? Like,
never.
Well, I know that, but I mean, he's always like tying up loose ends, and it's just not to ruin the movie or anything, but yeah,
he's not doing his job very well.
Right,
is what you're
he
saying.
keeps slipping. Damn kids and their
damn kids.
So, Final Destination.
Get off my planet.
It's about a guy named Alex Browning who has a premonition of the plane blowing up that they're in, and freaks out, gets everybody off or a lot of people off the plane, and then one by one they are killed in a different way, and yeah, it's very interesting.
In order.
In order of where they were seated, yeah. Didn't want to give too much away from the movie. If somebody's never seen this, I don't see very many people not seeing this movie already. But it stars Devon Sawa, Ali Larder, Sean William Scott, Kerr Smith, and the one and only Tony Todd.
Yes, sir.
Which you just met.
I did. He's a nice guy.
It was released March 17th, 2000, and directed by James Wong. And I don't need to go into what he's directed because he's done quite a bit of movies. Distributed and produced by New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers. Had a budget of $23 million, and it grossed $112.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say no, it didn't flop.
Yeah, I didn't ask. I'm sorry. I just went right on through it. I just said, "Fuck this. Let's just do it."
Did you say 2000? This was released 2000.
Yep. Yeah, March of 2000. IMDb gave it 6.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 36% rating, with a 68% audience rating. So critics did not like it on Rotten. And 30. What the hell? Letterboxd gave it 3.1 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think I rated it?
8 out of 10.
Only 7 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah. It was enjoyable. It was very intriguing when I first watched it. The first time I saw it. I've seen it a million times now and everything, but I think I like the sequel better.
Okay.
But nothing beats the original. I mean,
Yeah. I gave it a 10 out of 10. This was around the time that I started buying DVDs in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I used to pause the part where the girl gets hit by the bus.
Okay.
And I just do the the slow-mo fast forward just to see how they cut that scene.
Right.
And it was so well done. You can tell it's like a dummy, but it's spliced so well.
Right.
You can't I mean, when you're watching the movie, it looks like, yeah, she gets smashed by a bus, but
right.
It was just so cut so well.
Yeah, and seeing Sean William Scott getting his face cut off.
Yeah.
that was great.
It was great. I did watch the sequel in the movie theaters.
Did you? Okay.
And it freaked me the fuck out because when it was over, my girlfriend at the time was driving home, and I was scared to get behind any sort of log truck or any sort of truck. I was really paranoid on the way home because that movie fucked me up.
Wow. I did a fun fact about the sequels before we get back to this one. I think it was 2 and 3. They pushed to try and get 9/11 in there somehow.
Okay.
Because of the tragedy it was and how many deaths there were
Mm-hmm.
and everything, they were wanting to get it involved and have somebody, have a premonition that it was going to happen and save some people.
Yeah.
And that got shut down in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I can't see that happening.
Yeah. They were wanting to do it for 2, and then they tried again for 3. They just kept pushing it, and after they got turned down twice, where they said no.
Yeah.
So they weren't going to do that no more. But yeah, that would have been a bad thing, I think.
Yeah, I would have watched it and enjoyed it.
Right.
Because it would have been so.
Because we lived it.
Yeah. It was traumatic when it happened.
Right.
I mean, it was really traumatic. But you were there, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't need to go into that.
Well, I wasn't there. I was. Yeah.
No, I get it.
Yeah. The world stood still that day.
Yeah, it did.
Where was I at? Oh, yeah. So my rating, 7 out of 10. Fun facts that I have, because I have some. The story was originally going to be the concept for an episode of X-Files.
Okay.
Yeah. Which was inspired by Soul Survivor from 1984. In this movie...
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, in this movie, a woman who was the sole survival of a plane crash starts to be haunted by dead people that death uses temporarily as vessels trying to kill her and to correct its plan. I'm glad they didn't go with that concept because I think that would have been a little off-putting.
Yeah.
So, in the opening scene, Devon Sawa, who plays Alex, was supposed to pretend to be asleep. He actually fell asleep for 4 hours. No one woke him up. They thought he was pretending. And that's acting, folks.
Yeah.
Much of the news footage shown is actual footage from the July 1996 explosion and crash of TWA Flight 800 off of Long Island, New York.
Okay.
So I thought that was kind of cool. I added that in there. And then the shot of Alex's bedside clock, which fades in from 1 a.m. to 1:80.
Yeah.
Took 5 days to get correct.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all I got.
Okay. Good movie.
Definitely good movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely watch it. There's 5 of them. I recommend seeing all of them because it does kind of play in an order
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So
3 and 4 are my least favorites.
yeah, I would agree.
I like 1, 2, and 5 in that order.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you really want to play it in order, watch 5 first, then watch the first one, because 5 is actually a prequel.
Yeah, you're not supposed to know that, though.
No, not until the end. They're like, whoa. So, yeah, spoiler alert. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
All right, so the next movie I have is Chopping Mall.
They broke into the mall for the wildest all-night party of their lives. Get that meat. But you're never alone in the chopping mall.
What's that?
Robot blood. Shopping mall, where shopping costs you an arm and a leg.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah.
1986 classic.
What is with you in convenience stores, man? You got Intruder, and then now you got Shopping Mall.
Yeah. It's good stuff, good classic 80s. This was actually originally titled Killbots, but did not do well in a screening, so they changed it to Chopping Mall. It was released March 14th, 1986, and it was produced by Concord and Trinity Pictures.
Okay.
And let's see. Give me a second here. I believe Roger Corman did some producing on this movie. I was trying to look it up, but pretty sure that he had his hand in the movie. I don't know.
Right.
But I thought I read that somewhere. It was directed by Jim Wynorski, who also directed Sorority House Massacre 2, Ghoulies 4, 976 Evil 2, and Munchie.
There we go.
Not Munchies.
Right, Munchie.
The 90s Munchie
right.
with Dom DeLuise.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was written by Jim Wynorski and Steve Mitchell. And the special effects were done by Anthony Sho, who did the special effects for The Mutilator and Nightmare on Elm Street 2. And also Blake Shepard, who did the special effects for Robin Hood Men in Tights and Cooties.
Nice.
This movie stars Kelly Maroney, who was also in Night of the Comet and Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Tim O'Dell, Barbara Crampton, who was in Reanimator and From Beyond. And Paul Bartel, Mary Woronov, not Woronov. I spelt that wrong, but it's Woronov, who was in TerrorVision. Garrett Graham, who was also in TerrorVision, and the late, great Dick Miller.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he was in this one.
And also Angus Scrimm, who was the tall man from Phantasm.
Okay.
The one fun little fact I want to get to before I get to my 2 fun facts I have on this film was that the character for Dick Miller was the same name as Walter. Was it Walter Paisley? Was the same name and character from Bucket of Blood.
Okay.
His classic 50s film.
Right.
Yeah.
Dick Miller.
Yeah. Anything Dick Miller's in is great.
Yeah.
And he always steals the scenes. Chopping Mall was made on a budget of $800,000. I don't have a gross on this.
Right.
I don't think it flopped, though.
I don't see it flopping. Not back then.
IMDb gave it a 5.6 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 2.9 out of 5. And Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 55% with a 39% audience approval rating. What do you think my rating is?
8 out of 10.
Pretty close. 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah. I do like this movie. It's fun.
Yeah. No, it is. I've only seen it once, but
how long ago has it been?
3 years.
About 3 years?
Yeah. Watched it with you.
Okay. This was filmed in Los Angeles, specifically in the Sherman Oaks, California. And it was actually filmed at the Sherman Oaks Mall, which is the same mall that they shot scenes from Commando and Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Okay. Nice.
And the only other thing I have on this film is that it was shot in 22 days.
Nice. 2 and 2.
Yeah, 2 and 2. Thank you, Chuck Woolery.
All right. No, it was a good movie. I recommend seeing it at least once.
I think you can find this one on Tubi as well.
Yeah.
Any of the old classic cheesy horror movies you can probably find on Tubi.
Right.
What you got, Sea-Dog?
My next movie is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 2003.
Tell me how much you love me. How much? That much. That much.
Hey, are you okay?
They're all dead. It's a bad news.
I'm gonna have to call the cops, I guess. Excuse me.
What the hell was that?
What?
I just saw something.
All right, that's it. If somebody's out there, just come on out.
What is that? The hitchhiker. What were they all doing here?
What the hell are you doing in my house?
They're all gonna die.
He's killing him!
Who's killing who?
What's wrong with you people?
Oh, my.
I so wanted to like interrupt right there in the middle where the music and the
Yeah.
drums were. I was wanting to do the whole Shaun of the Dead thing. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So yeah. So I know you're not a big fan of this one, and you're a fan of the more of the original ones, but I really like this one. This one got me more intrigued with Leatherface than anything else. Because dumb as it seems, when I first saw this movie, and at the end, I didn't realize this was a true story.
Not
It
really.
It didn't really dawn. Yeah, I mean, based on true events.
It's based on, God, my brain just stopped working.
Yeah, I don't know.
The 50s serial killer who
Yeah.
used to cut people's faces off and make lamps and shit out of it.
Right.
His name's right there.
I know. I don't. Look it up while I'm talking.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Keep
I
talking.
didn't. Yeah, because I didn't get it either. So, this one stars Jessica Biel, Jonathan Tucker and Arlie Ermey.
Yes, classic.
And it was released October 17th, 2003. It was directed by Marcus Nispel, which also directed the Friday the 13th and Conan the Barbarian reboots.
Ed Gein.
Yeah. Ed Gein?
Based off of Ed Gein.
Okay.
Yeah. Who was not actually a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it was based off of...
It was in Texas County, though, like the area that was happened. It was in Texas County, and he did work at the slaughterhouse.
But he wasn't like
he wasn't a chainsaw massacre.
But he was cutting faces and skin off of people and making stuff.
And they never caught him.
Yeah. So. Well, they did catch Ed Gein.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways, it was directed and distributed and produced by New Line Cinema and 20th Century Studios. Had a budget of only $9.5 million. Think it flopped?
No.
It made $107 million. And IMDb gave it 6.2 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 37% with a 58% audience rating. And Letterboxd gave it 2.9 out of 5.
Okay.
What do you think my rating is?
7 out of 10?
Close. 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I only rated it 6. It's definitely watchable, rewatchable. But, I do like the 74 version. I like me some McConaughey. So, but this one was very entertaining. And, like I said, I didn't know it was an actual based on true events until I seen the footage at the end. I was like, holy crap, like this really happened? So then I actually did research more on that after watching the film and stuff. I did more research on the actual events and stuff and what took place. And it's crazy now. It's a whole museum now, the house and the slaughterhouse and everything. They're both museums that you can go through there and stuff. But yeah, when we went down to Texas, I almost wanted to go through Texas County just to go through and see that.
Is that West Texas?
Yeah.
I give it a 4 out of 10.
4. Okay.
I've seen it once. I did not care for it. I did like the original. I liked the part 2, both directed by Tobe Hooper. I like part 3. I did like the Matthew McConaughey one, Next Generation. A lot of people dig on that one, but I liked it. I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre Beginning.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Also has Arlie Ermey in it.
Yeah. Which I believe that one was a prequel to this one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So.
But the other ones were just kind of
Yeah. I haven't seen Leatherface. I've heard good things about it, but I haven't watched it.
It was okay. I mean, there was Leatherface, there was Texas Chainsaw, there was the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, not the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Right. A lot of renditions.
Yeah.
So my fun facts on this, I only have 2. And, we were talking about losing Richard Mole and everything. Well, this one has a connection to another Night Court star, John Larroquette.
John Larroquette, yeah.
He was the original narrator for the 1974, as well as this one in 2003.
As well as the newest one, I believe, too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm glad
they released that one on Netflix.
I'm glad he's staying connected with that.
And I believe he was paid in weed in the original movie.
Nice.
To do the narration.
That's awesome. During the scene in the van with Arlie Ermey and Jonathan Tucker, Tucker forced the gun down his throat in order to make himself vomit every take. If you watch carefully, you can see him spit the vomit out of his mouth in the scene.
Yum.
Yeah. So he wanted to make it more real, so he just shoved the gun down his throat.
I hope people are eating their breakfast while listening to this.
Right. And that's all I have on Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003.
Okay.
So, what do you have next?
Next movie I have is called The Conjuring.
Ooh.
All right, it's 9:18. We're headed down into the cellar where the doors just opened on its own. Give us a sign that you want to communicate with us. Nothing. What are you guys? Well, we've been called ghost hunters, paranormal researchers.
But we prefer to be known simply as Ed and Lorraine Warren.
There's someone here that would like to talk to you.
There's something horrible happening in my house.
It's November 1st, 1971. I'm sitting here with Carolyn Perrin, who, with her family, has been experiencing supernatural occurrences. You picking up anything in here, hon?
Something awful happened here, Ed.
What is it? Whatever Lorraine sees, feels, touches, takes a toll on her. A little piece each time.
You have a lot of spirits in here, but there's the one that I'm most worried about because it is so hateful. Look what she made me do. We have to get out of here.
That's not gonna help.
This thing has latched itself to your family.
I've never seen nothing like this.
I'm coming with you.
No way, I can't lose you.
There's a lady in a dirty nightgown that I see in my dreams. She's standing in front of my mom's bed. Do you want to see him?
Yeah.
When the music stops, you see him in the mirror standing behind you.
Okay.
Very creepy movie.
This was one of the few films that did scare me when I first saw it.
Yeah, it's very eerie.
When I saw it, I was watching it on the laptop in a completely black room with my headphones on.
Mm-hmm.
So I was completely immersed in the film. Yeah, it frightened me.
That says a lot. I mean, yeah, this one's creeped me out too. And isn't this one based on true events as well?
Yes. It's based on the files of Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yeah.
This film was released July 19th, 2013, and was produced by New Line Cinema, who also...
Everything.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's the house that Freddy built, is what they call it.
Right.
It was directed by James Wan, who also did Saw, Insidious, Aquaman, and *Malignant*.
Yeah.
It was written by Chad and Carrie Hayes, and it stars Patrick Wilson, Vera Farmiga, Ron Livingston from Office Space,
right,
Lily Taylor, and Joey King. It was made on a budget of $20 million. Do you think it flopped?
No.
No. It made $320.4 million.
Yeah.
And I think it was one of the highest grossing opening weekends for any horror movie. It's probably in the top 4 now because of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Right.
IMDb gave this a 7.5 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 3.6 out of 5, and Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 86% with an 83% audience approval. What do you think my rating is?
10 out of 10.
I'll give it a 9.5.
9? Okay.
Yeah.
I gave it 8. 8 out of 10. I haven't seen the prequels, the Annabelle ones. I haven't seen that. They, I don't know, just something about dolls kind of creeps me out.
I didn't care for them.
Yeah.
Or
But The Conjuring, I
the
liked.
Nun movies.
Yeah, me either.
I did like Conjuring 2. Part 3 was not very good,
Okay.
unfortunately. It wasn't directed by James Wan either.
And I think they're releasing part 4 next year.
Really? I didn't know.
I think so. Yeah.
No, they just released the second Nun movie. I didn't run out to watch it.
Right, yeah, no.
This was filmed in Curry, North Carolina. And this was It received an R rating, not because of sex or nudity or drug use or anything like that, but simply because of the scares.
Scare factor.
Yep.
Wow.
In the actual events, the Warrens were actually kicked out of the house by the Perrins because they were unable to help.
Okay.
Going back to this being one of the great opening weekends for a horror movie, $41 million on opening weekend.
Nice.
Which, I mean, clearly is not your 130 for
Right.
Five Nights at Freddy's. But
Yes.
This was 10 years ago. And we are in some sort of renaissance for horror films now or something.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. The real Lorraine Warren appears in the film at around 44 minutes. There's a scene in the classroom where you can see her sitting in the front.
Okay.
And finally, the working title for this film was called The Warren Files.
Yeah, no.
The Conjuring has a better ring to it.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's all I got for The Conjuring.
All right.
You should definitely check it out.
Yes.
Immerse yourself in it if you haven't seen it.
Right, yeah, complete darkness.
Yeah.
Except for the movie.
Yeah. It's a good one. I like the sequel as well.
Yeah,
Probably
me too.
just as much as the first one.
Yeah, I agree. All around. All right, my next movie is Ghost Ship.
Oh, class and opener.
Mr. Murphy, I'm Jack Ferryman. I fly the Arctic Weather Patrol. Last month, I was out in the middle of the strait when I came across this.
Congratulations. You found a boat in the middle of the ocean.
What do you think a ship like this could be worth? Depends on if we have the right to salvage it. I do know one thing. Sea gives you an opportunity, you take it.
Well, Murph, I think you should get up here.
It's an ocean liner.
It's the Antonia Graza. Any sign of what might have happened? Nothing. No passengers. No crew. No captain. No mention of anything in the ship's log. What do you make of that? A close ship.
I think I saw something I couldn't possibly have seen. I think I saw a little girl.
I know all of this isn't real.
We're all trapped here. I want to show you something.
I told you guys earlier there was something seriously wrong with this boat. Haunted, possessed, whatever you want to call it. I said we get our boat going and get the hell out of here.
What are we gonna do? We have got to get off this boat now.
Bon voyage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you mentioned the classic opening scene on this, and one of the most gruesome scenes in horror history, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Very shocking.
Yeah.
And I don't remember any of the movie but the opening. I haven't sat down and actually paid attention to the rest of the movie in a long time.
Really?
But that opening scene, yeah, is classic.
Yeah. So this movie stars Gabriel Byrne, Asaya Washington, sorry, Carl Urban.
The country singer?
No, not Keith Urban.
Oh.
Carl Urban is actually playing Johnny Cage in the
Okay,
new
yeah,
Mortal Kombat.
right, I know.
Yeah. So, and Emily Browning, which was the little girl.
Okay.
It was released October 22nd, 2002, and it was directed by Steve Beck, who also directed 13 Ghosts and did the visual effects for Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade and The Abyss.
Okay. Nice.
And it was distributed and produced by one and only Robert Zemeckis.
Okay.
And Warner Brothers.
Okay.
Of course. And we don't need to go into Robert Zemeckis.
I didn't know that he had his hand in this movie.
No?
Mm-mm.
Wow, all right. I get shocked whenever
there's still things I need to learn.
Yeah, when I when I teach you things, it's like, whoa, hey, is this how this feels?
Yeah.
Had a budget of only $20 million.
You'll get to the point where you're like, come on, man, you don't know that yet?
Right. And do you think this movie flopped?
What'd you say it was? $20
million
$20
budget.
million budget?
Yeah, but $20 million.
No, I think it just barely made its money back.
No, it tripled it.
Did it really?
Yeah, $68 million.
Nice.
So, IMDb gave it 5.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it only 15%.
Wow.
With a 37% audience rating. And Letterboxd gave it 2.4 out of 5.
Wow.
What do you think I gave it?
7 out of 10?
Nope, 8.
Okay.
Yep, 8 out of 10.
I'll give it 7 out of 10.
Just on the opening scene.
Yeah, because I don't remember the rest
Right.
of the movie. They're like running around the ship or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah. No, there was a lot of lot more than that, but yeah, the opening scene was the top of the top of the tip of the iceberg, so to speak, because we're talking about ghost ships. So some fun facts I have. In 2016, the media website comingsoon.net named the film's opening scene one of the greatest in horror film history. And I don't know if that stands still today, but I'm pretty sure it does.
It's got to.
Yeah. The scene on the foredeck where the captain and the passengers are dancing, this is the opening scene we're talking about, and the scene in the ballroom once was a common tradition at the time near the end of a transatlantic voyage. I have a trouble saying that word. Transatlantic.
Mm-hmm.
These were usually held near the coast as the ship approached the end of the trip.
They would have like little parties and stuff.
Yeah, and it was typically called the Captain's Ball.
Okay.
The theatrical poster for Ghost Ship was inspired by the poster of Death Ship in 1980.
Yep.
Another film about a haunted ocean liner.
Yep.
So that's all I got.
Okay.
Yeah. I definitely recommend seeing it all the way through. It's a really good film, and I mean,
I don't remember it being a popular film in 2002, but then again,
it's kind of shocking. I mean, they tripled their money.
Yeah.
We should have at least gotten one sequel because they do leave it open for a sequel.
How long has it been since you've seen this?
Maybe 6 months ago. It was on TV.
Oh,
and I watched
really?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've seen it recently.
Okay. Cool.
So, what you got?
Classic slasher. A Nightmare on Elm Street.
1, 2. Freddy's coming for you.
Yep.
The kids of Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them.
There's something out there, isn't there?
We just see cuts happening.
What did happen, Tom?
I don't know. What's the coroner got to say? He's in the jar and puking since he saw it.
You're gonna kill me for sure.
Did you do it?
There was somebody else there.
He was locked in a room with a girl who went in alive and came out in a rubber bag.
No one knows where it came from or who it will visit next.
Nancy? There's something wrong with you. You're imagining things.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Do you believe in the boogeyman?
No.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
She's the only one who can stop it. If she fails,
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
no one will survive. From Wes Craven, director of The Hills Have Eyes and Last House on the Left, a new masterpiece in fantasy terror, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, classic.
Definitely classic.
Nightmare on Elm Street was released November 16th, 1984, and was released by, or produced by New Line Cinema, directed by Wes Craven, and written by Wes Craven.
Yes.
This movie stars Heather Langenkamp as Nancy, Johnny Depp in his debut film role, anything role. This was his first time ever on screen. Apparently, I could be wrong about this. I think it might have been like the producer's daughter saw him and was like, "Oh my God, he's so
I'll say,
hot."
I think he was doing 21 Jump Street.
No, this was 21 Jump Street.
This was before?
After.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it might have been the producer's daughter, or it was somebody's daughter.
Yeah.
It was like, this guy is so hot, you should put him in the movie, and they did, and it worked. And
Nice.
he's Johnny Depp.
Right.
Now.
Yes.
Also stars Robert Englund, John Saxon, Amanda Weiss from Better Off Dead, Beth, and Charles Fleischer, the one and only Roger Rabbit.
Yes.
As the Doctor. This was filmed on a budget of $1.8 million. Think it flopped?
No.
No, but it actually only grossed $25.6 million.
Only?
Yeah, well,
I mean, it made 24 million.
yeah.
So, but yeah, no, that I mean,
Back in the
I
80s,
would.
people weren't going to horror movies like they are now.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have imagined it would have been higher than that.
Yeah, I thought so too.
So,
IMDb gave it a 7.4 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 3.7 out of 5. And Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 95% with an 84% audience approval rating. Yeah, who's the other 16%?
right? These critics, man, I say, they know nothing.
What do you think my rating is?
Oh, being Freddy, I'm gonna say 9 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I gave it 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do like this one. I love this one. This is my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street film.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. So the film was filmed in Hollywood. And I mean, I really didn't write down a whole bunch of fun facts on the movie and just going off of my brain. There was a cut scene in the film when Nancy's mom brought her down into the boiler room or into the basement and showed her Freddy's glove. Well, there was a scene that they cut out where apparently Nancy had a sibling, like a sister or something, that Freddy had killed. And I guess Wes Craven decided that wasn't flowing with the storyline or whatever, so he cut it out. But yeah, there was a whole backstory there.
Nice.
Where she had a sister or something. Also, there were 2 scenes in the movie. One with Tina at the beginning of the movie where she's getting slashed and she's rolling up the wall and crawling across the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they built this special room that they would tilt it upside down.
Oh wow!
So that that's
kind of like the tunnel at a fun house.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. But they had this tube or whatever and this vat of fake blood that they would pump into the room, and that's what they used for Johnny Depp's death scene, where he gets sucked into the bed and all that blood spews out. they used that room. They tilted it upside down and filmed it upside down.
Right.
And pumped all this blood in through this hole in the bed.
Nice.
So, I talked to one of the guys that did the special effects for that room and other stuff. Apparently, there was a scene where Freddy's set on fire in the basement, and he's running up the stairs. He was the guy that I talked to in the Freddy suit on fire. He also did some work pumping the blood into the Johnny Depp room.
Nice.
As well. And I cannot remember his fucking name for the life of me. I can't remember his name, but his 2 daughters were actually in the movie as well as 2 of the girls in the jump rope scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Singing the song.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So.
And you've met Robert Englund himself.
I have.
You've met Freddy Krueger.
I have. And I have tickets to Day of the Dead Festival in March. And it's out in Chicago, and Heather Langenkamp is going to be there.
Nice.
And you know that poster that I have of Nightmare on Elm Street 4 with all the signatures? Almost everybody's on there.
Right.
Except for Joey. He's going to be there. So
Nice.
I finally get to
You're
get
gonna
his
complete
autograph.
it. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I've heard rumors that it's known Robert Englund wants to do one more.
I heard he doesn't.
No?
I heard he's done.
Well, this was last year, I heard.
Okay.
So he might have changed his mind since then. But yeah, he said he's willing to do one more. But he said if it were, it's going to be a sequel to Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, yeah.
He wants payback, he says.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, they need to get Kane Hodder in there then.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know why they didn't use him, but they definitely need to.
Yeah. So I was like, man, that would be cool. Because he even talked about like the ending scene with, taking his glove and giving him the middle finger and just shoving it right up through his head and everything. So I was like, that would be a good scene. That would be awesome. I'd definitely watch it.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. I mean, I like the first one here, but when Freddy versus Jason came out, I was already invoked in, Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees, and I was like, man, they're colliding the two. Like this was like the first time, it was almost like when they released, Alien versus Predator, only better.
Right.
So
I did see that one in theaters when it came out, Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah. Were you disappointed?
I don't recall if I was disappointed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay movie. I don't hate it.
Right.
I don't think there's any Nightmare on Elm Street movie that I hate. I even saw the remake in theaters and wasn't totally let down by it.
No, I like the direction that they went in the storyline and stuff, and kind of giving it origins.
They went back to the dark, straight horror instead of having all the comedy and stuff.
Right.
And they really made Freddy a nasty human being.
Yeah.
Because in the original I did it again. In the original Nightmare on Elm Street, he was just a child murderer.
Right.
In the remake, he was a child molester.
Yeah.
So they really went the full 9 yards with that one.
They went deep.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Wes Craven's New Nightmare, right? That's the one that they did. No, Nightmare on Elm Street reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
With Jackie Earle Haley as Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah.
And that's all I have. I mean, I can keep going, but
right. No,
of the 1-2 Freddy's Coming for You, apparently that little ditty was written by Heather Langenkamp's boyfriend at the time.
Okay.
There's another little fun fact I have.
Nice.
But yeah.
Your
turn. What you got, Sea-Dog?
Well, I'm going to talk about another slasher. This one is, I'm going to give you a hint. It's kind of like Scream and Groundhog Day had a baby.
Okay.
I'm talking about Happy Death Day.
Saw that in theaters too. Yeah, here we go. Bye.
Oh, hey, you're up.
Am I in a dorm room?
Yeah, I folded your pants for you.
Great.
Dude, did you do that or what?
Go, Charlie.
It's your birthday.
Stop global warming.
We gon' party like it's your birthday. We gon' sip and party like it's your
You
birthday.
sneaky little biatch. Maybe you should switch to water next time. Super helpful. Don't be late to the party tonight.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Tree, happy birthday.
You can find me in the club, bottle full of bub. Look, mommy, I got the X. Getting to take a drug. I'm in the habit.
You scared me.
You're up.
Look, I know this isn't gonna make any sense. Stop global warming? I feel like I'm losing my mind.
You sneaky little biatch. Happy birthday.
I've already lived through this day. Somebody's gonna kill me tonight. So you can hear now.
Is everything okay?
Assuming that I believe any of this is even possible,
Sprinklers. Car alarm.
the way I see it, you have unlimited amount of lives, unlimited opportunities to solve your own murder.
So I'm supposed to keep dying until I figure out who my killer is?
You want to live to see tomorrow, right? Whoever's killing you knows it's your birthday.
Pretty much the entire school knows it.
These are signs of major trauma. You should be dead.
You relive the same day over and over again. Kind of start to see who you really are.
Love this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love
one
the
was-
sequel. Love Freaky.
Yeah.
Those are all Blumhouse, right?
It was, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blumhouse Blumhouse Records, everybody. He's producing music now.
It's your birthday.
Yeah, this I mean, what's there to say about this movie? It's great. It's about a college student that has to relive every single day until she can solve her own murder.
Yep.
And just it's a great film all around.
Yep. Released October 2017.
October 13th, Friday, October 13th, 2017.
Okay.
Yep. And it stars Jessica Roth, Israel Browsard, and Ruby Modine.
Okay.
And it was directed by Christopher Landon.
Mm-hmm.
And it was distributed and produced by Universal Pictures and Blumhouse Productions.
Did Landon also do Freaky?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he did. And Happy Death Day 2.
Yeah.
And he's planning a sequel or a crossover. We talked about that when we
Yeah.
reviewed Freaky.
That'd be interesting.
That was a while back, man. 135 movies. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
I'm going off script.
We've reviewed 135.
Yes.
Is that including these?
That's not including these two episodes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a lot. That's 32 more movies on
Yeah.
top of that.
Okay.
So you're welcome. They had a budget of $4.8 million.
No, it didn't flop.
No, it didn't. It grossed $125.5 million.
Nice.
And IMDb gave it 6.6 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 71% with a 67% audience rating. And Letterboxd gave it 3 out of 5.
Okay.
I was thinking the audience rating would have been higher than the
Yeah.
critics, but, who will?
I will.
What do you think I gave it?
9 out of 10?
8.
8 out of 10?
Yeah.
I give it 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10?
Yeah.
I was
It's a good one.
It was debatable. Very, very close.
I saw this one in theaters. I saw the sequel in theaters. Did I see Freaky in theaters? I don't think I saw Freaky.
No.
No, because it was during pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was direct release.
Yeah.
Some fun facts I have. According to director Christopher Landon, Tree Gelbman's punchline, which is the main character,
Yeah.
the woman,
Tree.
who takes their first date to Subway? It's not like they have a foot long.
Nah.
Was improvised by Jessica Roth herself.
Okay.
Yeah, she improvised on that one. The Bayfield University baby killer costume was designed by Tony Gardner, who also designed the Ghostface mask.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
And the horror icon from Scream films, and which is a reworked version of the Father's Death Halloween costume.
Okay.
So, the scene where Tree Gelman's walks through the campus quad naked had to be done quickly, given that it was being filmed on an active college campus. This presented the risk of students witnessing the scene being filmed and or taking photos. The crew took extreme precautions to clear away any potential onlookers. In the end, they managed to do just 2 or 3 takes.
Okay.
So yeah, that would have been very difficult.
Yeah.
Walking through the quad naked, during real campus. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising. You'd be like, hey, naked girl.
Yeah.
What
is this, the 70s?
Right. We're going streaking. That's all I got.
Okay.
On that one.
Good movie.
Definitely a good movie. If you haven't seen it, you need to watch it.
Kind of want to go watch that now.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's finish this first.
Oh, okay. We're not done? Oh,
We're not
shit.
done yet.
Okay. Was that your last one?
No. I have one more.
Oh, yeah.
Special.
I came first.
Yes. I have.
I mean,
that's.
I started.
Whoa,
I started
man.
first. All right.
Whoa.
Okay.
Giggity. That deserved that.
All right. Here we go.
All right.
Poltergeist is my next film, and I'd like to talk about Poltergeist.
Are you sure? You want to talk about it?
Poltergeist. Do it.
All right.
Do it.
Oh, wait a minute.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
The house looks just like the one next to it. And the one next to that. And the one next to that. A young couple live in it.
Give Ken a kiss.
You are so obnoxious.
With their 3 children. And something more.
They're here.
Sweetie, remember last night? Do you remember when you woke up and you said you're here?
Uh-huh.
Well, who did you mean? Who's here?
TV people.
Something's funny going on here next door. Something,
We were wondering if maybe you had experienced any disturbances lately.
What kind of disturbances?
I don't know what hovers over this house. I've never sensed anything like it.
That thing is in there with my baby.
They're hundreds.
Now Steven Spielberg crosses a frightening new threshold into a world within our own. Its form is revealed.
What is it?
Its focus is clear. And the games are over. Poltergeist. It knows what scares you.
Classic.
Excellent movie. I'm kind of speechless because I love this movie. I think it's so well made.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's so very Spielbergian, but it has that Tobe Hooper just nastiness to it.
Right.
I don't know. It's so well made. So, Poltergeist was released June 4th, 1982. Around the same time as E.T.
Yeah.
It was produced by MGM Studios, directed by Tobe Hooper, finally.
Right.
Written by Steven Spielberg and stars Heather O'Rourke as Carol Ann, Craig T. Nelson, JoBeth Williams, Dominique Dunn, Oliver Robbins, Patrice Straight, James Karen, and Zelda Rubinstein. This was made on a budget of $10.7 million. Think it flopped?
No.
No.
Definitely not.
It did not. It made $77.2 million.
Nice.
IMDb rated this a 7.3 out of 10. Letterboxd gave it a 3.5 out of 5. And Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 88% with a 79% audience rating. What do you think my rating is?
Probably the same as mine, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, man.
Yes. I mean, this is the pinnacle of paranormal movies. I mean, you talk about ghost movies, Poltergeist has to be on that list.
Yeah, absolutely. And it almost didn't make the list until I was like, realized, have
Right.
have I reviewed Poltergeist yet?
Yeah.
No? Okay, well, it's obviously going on this list.
Right, right.
And it's also the pinnacle of special effects in the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, the special effects, I think, still hold up.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
40 years later.
Definitely. And I like the way that they mixed special and practical effects in this movie and everything. And that's Tobe Hooper.
Yeah.
And
So
everything.
great.
Yeah.
This movie was filmed in Agora Hills, Irvine, and the Simi Valley, California. Drew Barrymore was originally considered for the role of Carol Ann.
No.
Yeah. But interestingly, Spielberg was filming E.T. at the same time this movie was being filmed.
Okay.
So there is this common misconception that Steven Spielberg directed this movie because it's so Spielbergian.
Right.
It's not true. It has been proven over and over again that Spielberg did not direct this movie. He did have his hands in it at every moment.
Right.
But this was very much a Tobe Hooper film. And one of the reasons why it is proven that Spielberg did not direct this movie is because Spielberg's contract would not allow him to direct two films at the same time. He was filming E.T. when Hooper was filming this movie.
Yeah. And how weird would it have been if Drew Barrymore got the role of both?
Yeah, that would be crazy.
That would have been crazy, especially how young she was. Oh my gosh.
So the times that Spielberg apparently the two movies were being filmed about 20 minutes from each other on location.
Well, that's convenient.
So anytime there was downtime in E.T., Spielberg would come over and sit and observe and put in his 2 cents, which happened quite frequently in this film. But again, Spielberg did not direct this movie. It was Tobe Hooper.
Yes.
Okay, let's make that clear.
Exactly.
Okay. Today is October 30th, and it is the 41st anniversary of Dominique Dunn's murder.
Wow.
She was murdered by her boyfriend while she was studying for a new role in a television series. Dominique Dunn was the big sister in Poltergeist, if you did not know that. And she was murdered, 4 or 5 months after the movie was released. So she was on her way up and just happened to be in a relationship with a shitty human being.
Rest in peace to her and the...
Heather O'Rourke.
Yes, Heather O'Rourke.
Who also passed away February 1988.
Yeah.
In, I believe, post-production of Part 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this movie is rated PG. It was originally going to be an R rating, but they decided to knock it down to a PG ratings.
Did they have PG-13 back then?
At this time, it was 1982. They did not have PG-13. The first PG-13 movie was 1984, and I believe it was Red Dawn.
Okay.
Was the first PG-13 movie. So this was two years before the PG-13 rating. And so for a PG movie, this is very rough.
Yeah, very risque.
Yeah. This was the highest grossing horror of 1982. And there's a lot of good horror movies that came out in 82. The Thing came out, but again, because E.T., it just dominated everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Oddly enough, Tobe Hooper was offered to direct E.T.
Wow.
Turned it down. So Spielberg gave him this unwritten script for Poltergeist, and so Hooper decided to direct this. That would be a weird movie.
That would be.
E.T. directed by
That'd be
Tobe
interesting.
Hooper.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Let's see. Stephen King was approached to write the script for this movie, but they could not come up with, the particulars.
Yeah.
So
he's very picky.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. That would have been a very interesting film as well. But I'm glad this was not written by Stephen King. I think it would have been. I like Stephen King, but I think it would have been a lot more cheesy.
Yeah, he tends to only want to do his own stuff. He doesn't like doing other people's scripts and stuff. Very rarely he'll poke an eye at it, but
But I'm glad he didn't.
No,
because this movie is
the best.
It's a gem.
I want to say this is the best. I mean, it was directed by Tobe Hooper, but this is probably. I mean, this has got to be one of the best ones that he's done.
Oh yeah,
by far.
No, I agree. Probably my favorite. I think easily my favorite Tobe Hooper film. I mean, I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I love Eaten Alive from the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Invaders from Mars is fun, but yeah, dude, Poltergeist. And I took Perry to watch it, my son, to the theater and saw this at Screenland.
That's awesome.
And he was like, it frightened him. It scared the shit out of him. And after the movie was over, he was like, why would you do this? Don't ever make me watch this movie again. I think he was being like half sarcastic.
Right.
But he was terrified. He was like, this is terrifying.
Wow.
It's like, yeah. I mean, movie's 40 years old and it still holds up.
Yeah, definitely.
Not to mention the fact that they do use real corpses in this movie.
Did they really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought that was just practical.
No, in the swimming pool scene where Joe Beth Williams falls in.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
real.
I did
She
read about
didn't
that.
even know that at the time. And they told her later, and she's like, "What the fuck?"
Right.
But yeah, those are real corpses.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
because
awesome.
it's cheaper. It's cheaper to film with real skeletons and real corpses than it is to
make
get
them.
fake ones.
Right.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's wait, no. The last thing I have on Poltergeist is this was actually originally titled Nighttime, or It's Nighttime.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Poltergeist is definitely the right call on that one.
Did you know that Poltergeist is German for noisy ghost?
Noisy ghost.
Yeah.
I heard a while back. I heard a rumor that the house that's in California is a kind of. I mean, it's iconic, of course. People, tourists. It's a tourist attraction.
In Poltergeist?
No, in real life, from Poltergeist,
Right.
The house.
Oh yeah.
That they used.
I thought it
they
imploded.
put.
I thought it imploded.
Well, it did in the movie, but no, they made it kind of an amusement attraction.
Okay.
When you go in, they've got like vibrators, and so, I mean, per se, I guess, yeah.
Giggity.
But it vibrates the house and the floors and everything, and then they've got like trick motion sensors that open. I mean, it's like you're living the Poltergeist. They have like motion sensors that triggers like the cabinet doors opening and stuff falling out, and
That's cool.
yeah.
I'm glad they didn't turn into a Cirilla's. Fucking a bunch of vibrators.
All right. Anything else
That's all I got.
All right. Well,
What you got, Sea Dog? You got one more?
I got one more. I held it for last because it just came out literally Friday, and I watched it, and I'm talking about Five Nights at Freddy's.
Hi, this is Mike. I was just calling to see if that job that you offered was still available.
Yes. The security guard.
I will take anything.
This place was huge in the 80s with the kids. Huge. They shut it down years ago. The owner's just not ready to let it go yet.
I will work and you will sleep.
I understand.
Give me your hand.
All you have to do is keep your eyes on the monitor.
Welcome to Freddy Fazbear's, where fantasy and fun come to life.
Okay.
You must be a new security guard.
Can I help you, officer?
Have you met them yet?
Met who?
Them. In the 80s, kids went missing. The police searched Freddy's top to bottom.
Hello?
They never found them. That's why the place shut down.
There are ghost children possessing giant robots. Thanks for the heads up.
Technically, they're animatronics.
What do they want?
They want to make her like them.
Bobby! Tell me how to stop them.
It's too late.
Robbie, go!
Where to? Why do I always get the weirdos?
This was a great movie. I've never played the games, didn't know anything about it, and so I went in blindly, and I absolutely loved it. It was a great movie. It's about a troubled security guard who begins working at Freddy's Fazbear's Pizza place, kind of like Chuck E. Cheese or Willy's Wonderland, if you've seen that one.
What about Showbiz Pizza?
Right, yeah. That's the aging, man. During his
It's where a kid can be a kid.
Right. During his first night at the job, he realizes that the night shift won't be so easy to get through. Pretty soon, he will unveil what actually happened at Freddy's. It stars Josh Hutcherson, Piper Rubio, Elizabeth Lale, Mary Stuart Masterson, and the one and only Matthew Lillard.
Yeah.
It was released, like I said, October 27th, 2023. And
3 days ago.
Yeah, 3 days ago. It was directed by Emma Tammy and distributed by Universal Pictures and produced by Blumhouse Productions and Scott Games.
Okay.
Had a budget of $20 million. So far, the opening weekend was $78 million it grossed, and $130 million worldwide.
Yep.
So it is doing amazing.
And it got its money back by selling it to
Peacock.
To Peacock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before it was even released.
Yep.
So everything is profit.
Yep.
At this point. IMDb gave it 5.7 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it 26% with an 89% audience rating.
Huh.
And
most of the critics aren't kids.
Right. And Letterboxd gave it 2.7 out of 5. What do you think my rating was?
10 out of 10.
Yep. Definitely. Loved it. It wasn't. I was praying for an R-rated version. Director's cut didn't happen. She's not doing it. She's going to keep it PG-13 so the kids can be involved in the movies and stuff, which is okay because it's enough jump scare in this movie that keeps it entertaining and scary.
Perhaps did they film an R rating?
No.
Okay.
No, they did not. I looked. I was thinking maybe this is a Megan thing, when Megan came out, and then they're going to release a director's cut. No, she's not.
Okay.
So maybe for the sequel, maybe it'll change. So we'll see.
I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I have not watched it yet. I'm waiting to watch that with my son. My daughter has seen it, but she wants to rewatch it. So I've got to wait to watch it with Perry.
Yeah, definitely recommended, and I think you're going to like this one.
Okay.
Even though it's not rated R, I think you're going to like this one.
Okay.
So, fun facts, I have plenty.
Okay.
I may not mention all of them, but I have some. Unlike most studios using CGI for bringing creatures to life, Jim Henson's Creature Shop was responsible for the creation of the Fazbear animatronics.
Nice.
And the animatronic characters were performed by puppeteers from the Jim Henson Company for shots where the characters were moving and everything. The puppeteers would control both the head and the body movements. In the rare instances where the character would walk or dance, a stunt person was inside the costume while a puppeteer controlled the heads and remotely and everything. Because of Foxy's, which is the Fox animatronic, because of his skeletal-like structure, he was built as a full-body animatronic puppet and performed by Russ Walco. So he was 100% animatronic.
Okay.
No puppeteering. Puppeteering, of course, but along with a group of puppeteers, from Jim Henson's company. In shots where Foxy walked, it took as many as 6 puppeteers to accomplish his full range of movements. Although there was a Golden Freddy stunt suit built. Again, I've never played the games, but I think this is like a Super Freddy or something. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this, kids, or the gamers. I'm sorry, but I'm just reading what I read. The costume was never used during filming. For all of his shots, he was an animatronic puppet performed by puppeteers, again from Jim Henson. This was Blumhouse Productions' first ever video game film.
Okay.
And I've got a couple more here. The opening credits are depicted in Atari-based computer graphics, showing the events that led to Freddy's Fazbear's Pizzeria closing for business. This style of storytelling is present in the majority of the games.
Okay.
In an interview with Jason Blum, it was revealed that the film is Blumhouse Productions' top priority. So, like, he was dead set on doing this.
Right. He knew he was about to make some money.
Yeah. Like in the games, Foxy can be heard humming before he attacks. He's the only character with a voice. The rest just lip sync to predetermined tunes programmed for the shows.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Willy's Wonderland in 2021, starring Nicolas Cage? Has a plot that pretty much rips off Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
In which people are attacked by possessed animatronics.
Yeah, that's what the kids were saying when they watched it. They love Willy's Wonderland. It's a total ripoff of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Totally. I think that's probably why they decided they were going to make this. They had to rebuttal from that and everything. The song that was featured in the movie, Talking in Your Sleep by the Romantics, was originally released in 1983.
Yeah.
And the last fact I have is director Emma Tammy. She was standing next to one of the one of the animatronics, talking to a puppeteer with a remote in his hand, but he was not touching it. It was just in his hand, holding it. And one of the of the animatronics started twitching, and just kind of looked at her and then back, and she she looked at him and said, "You saw that, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Did you do that?" She's like, "No." And she looked back, and all of the controllers were in their stations, so it was just a glitch in that. But kind of eerie at the same time. Yeah, a little creepy. So I definitely recommend it. If you've never seen or heard of the games or anything, picture yourself stuck at night in Chuck E. Cheese or Showbiz Pizza, if you will, and the animatronics come to life and try to kill you. So
cool. I'll imagine that.
Yeah. Sleep well,
folks.
So that is my last movie. And I think before we wrap this up, we need to pay another tribute to Mr. Matthew Perry, who just passed away.
Yep, let's do that.
And here we go.
So no one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you're broke. Your love life's the old way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear, when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. Well, I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you, like I've been there before. I'll be there for you, 'cause you're there for me too. You're still in bed at 10 and work begin at 8. Yeah. You've burned your breakfast so far, things are going great. Your mother warned you there'd be days like these, but she didn't tell you when the world has brought you down to your knees. That I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you, like I've been there before. I'll be there for you, 'cause you're there for me too.
Rest in peace, Matthew Perry.
Yes, R.I.P. Miss Chandler Bong.
Yeah, Chandler Bing. And also rest in peace, Richard Mole. May both of your films and TV shows continue giving laughter and smiles to everybody around. And you guys are legends.
Yep.
See ya.
See you next week.